Disclaimer. The purpose of this video is an educational documentary providing authoritative news reporting on historic events in a journalistic context. All of the opinions in this video are mine alone. Everything in this video has been taken from publicly available sources, and any footage used is covered under the doctrine of fair use. We have made every effort to ensure the accuracy of our sources, but I am not responsible for content that third parties publish. Content warning. This video contains themes of violence, death, and gang activity, but every effort has been made to censor this video in accordance with YouTube's advertiser and community guidelines. This video features no violence on screen, no explicit language, and no hateful language. If you want to see extended versions of my videos with much more detail, please visit patreon.com/traplawross, where you can watch the director's cut for just $2. But if you're not interested in that, hit the subscribe button and get ready to hear one of the craziest stories ever told.
When most people think about the West Coast in music, a few things come to mind. The city of LA, the Bloods and the Crips, Tupac, Dr. Dre, Draco the Ruler, or even Kendrick Lamar. But often what gets overlooked is the many cities in Northern California, where places like Stockton are plagued with the same issues as LA, but nowhere near the same economy or level of opportunity, with Stockton being labelled in late 2023 as one of the worst cities to live in the USA.
Is it true that Stockton's just this like incredibly grimy place?
At around 5 hours drive from LA, the city's crime rate places it as 82% more dangerous than the USA's national average, with a 2022 study finding the chance of being a victim to violent crime there is 1 in 79.
And this is an opportunity for all of us to really understand what's going on in Stockton.
It's a level of violence that rivals crimes in cities like Compton and Oakland, except this isn't a major metropolitan city. The Stockton Police Department says it's had days where police literally hop from one shooting scene to the next. At least 1/3 of this year's killings are gang-related. What you're watching is an afternoon shootout in late March. Caught on tape are two rival gangs, young men in their late teens and early 20s, who crossed paths at a South Stockton grocery store. The only person killed in the gunfire was an innocent bystander. Stockton gang members themselves tell News 10 that in this city, the young people have guns and feel no remorse.
Well, that's kind of the honor of it.
But that being said, surviving in the city of Stockton is known to be extremely tough, and many don't make it out, with Stockton ranking as #1 on the most dangerous cities in California list, beating the infamously dangerous and gang-infested Compton by 3 places. For MMA fans, they might be familiar with the legendary Diaz brothers, Nick and Nate, who always rep the city.
When I think about Stockton, though, I think about the Diaz brothers, the UFC fighters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
and they're kind of, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but they're kind of like a perfect, if Stockton is a crazy place, I mean, these are the craziest dudes you ever seen in your life.
Yeah, Stockton been turned up, man, for a long time. Like, if you think back, right, to like the hyphy movement, like 08, 05, it was turned around the Bay, right? But it was super turned, like Stockton and Sac. It was on a whole nother level with it, to where it almost, you know, I ain't gonna go on all that.
Eating some ass, I ain't gonna lie to you.
And they be getting high as they be smoking weed right before the drug test at their UFC fights, so that the test says that they have like 5 million times more weed in their system than they're allowed to. Is that a Stockton thing?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's a Stockton thing. We be getting high.
And the first thing he does, he gets into the octagon. He looks over at Robbie, he goes, "Stockton! Stockton!" And he starts walking around, "Stockton!" And Robbie's like, "What the f is he talking about?"
Even gifting the city the infamous Stockton slap. The Diaz brothers are known for their grit, always coming forward in a fight and laying it on the line, similar to one of the West Coast's most notorious and menacing groups that hail from Stockton, EBK. Aside from the extensive catalogue of bangers, this gang has been involved in multiple sting operations and busts, including what was reportedly the largest takedown in San Joaquin County.
With 90 people charged. KCRA 3's Jason Marks joining us live in Stockton. And Jason, law enforcement is saying this sends a strong message to those who want to commit crimes.
Ty, very strong. It's making it clear that it will not be tolerated here in Stockton and also in San Joaquin County. I can tell you that this gang takedown that they just had is not only helping to prevent crimes that are just about to happen, but it's also helping to solve the ones that already occurred. Now, you mentioned it, what they took off the street. So let me show you, and you can see them right there. 58 guns. 10 of them assault rifles, another 12 of those were ghost guns. Now, this was the culmination, as you mentioned, of a 6-month operation here in Stockton with help from the Attorney General's office.
You know they gotta get a little, he basically doing this little, you know, the little introduction and this, that, and the third, right? He gonna get to the meat and potatoes. I'm waiting on it too. Well, you know, you gotta give us the history of Stockton and all that shit, man. We gonna, you know.
Law enforcement went after gang members. 90 of them have been charged, and more charges are coming. Police tell us they were also able to solve 2 unsolved murder cases with this takedown.
Organized crime in this county, and in particular in Stockton, will not be tolerated. If individuals think that this is the last they're going to see of us, they're wrong.
With members constantly in and out of jail, having shootouts with ops, or releasing super disrespectful songs about killing them, EBK stands for Everybody Killer. This group really seemingly did have beef with everybody in the whole West Coast, and eventually even themselves. Aside from dominating the North California music scene, this crew is involved in several years-long feuds that sadly claim the lives of multiple members. So today, this is the story of one of the most savage street crews coming out of the West Coast, the Ebk Hot Boys. With a population of around 320,000, Stockton is one of the oldest cities in California. Originally a port city, as the San Francisco Bay Area waters flowed all the way through to Stockton, due to the rich farming soil surrounding Stockton, this entitled surrounding cities to come to the port and collect fresh produce. But sadly, this industry died out over time, causing Stockton to become the most populous city to go bankrupt in the early 2010s. This has led to Stockton seeing multiple struggles throughout the Great Recession, all the way through to the modern day. Due to drug trafficking, segregation, and police brutality, the city has multiple degrading factors, leaving it as almost a no-go zone within the state. And to make matters worse, many Stockton residents work in the Bay Area, which is far west of Stockton, creating pretty much no benefit for the economy within the city. This has given Stockton the name City of Orphans, with residents feeling failed by the government who haven't taken action and supported this community in the way that it needed, leading to further decline in state support and the collapse of possible real estate development.
Hey, Trap did his homework, you know what I'm saying? I respect his journalism too. Shout out Trap Lil Ross. This one, he put this on Trap More Ross, his other page, right? But he definitely did his research, because that's a fact. Like, a lot of people who live in Stockton, they do work in the Bay, right? Because they pay them on the Bay. It's kind of like, I don't know what the equivalent is like for y'all, right? But in the Bay Area, like somewhere like Frisco, you making damn near double what they paying in Stockton. You feel me?
The government would even prioritise their own employees with unsustainable retirement and pension programs, many of which was financed with debt. This led the city to look extremely run down, with the lack of investment leading to rampant poverty, homelessness and crime. Forbes magazine would even label the city as the top most miserable city. And the issue of the city budget still seems present to this day, with the local government apparently spending 18% of their budget on public service and policing, but just 3% on community services. You'd think that they would at least spend a little bit more attention on caring for the community and preventing crime rather than just enforcing it. All of these factors also led the city to be named as one of the worst places to raise children within the USA, with the poverty in the area being traced all the way back to the Great Recession, when Stockton experienced a record rise in home foreclosures and failures in budget management. This ultimately led to layoffs of around 20% of the police force, 38% of public workers, 46% of library staff, with a further 56% cuts in recreation staffs. From there, the city was basically doomed. When asked about Stockton, EBK affiliate young Slobby would explain the limits within the city. Slobby explains how there's a lack of anything in the city, and anytime there is something positive implemented, it's quickly ruined. This sentiment is clearly felt by the younger generation of the city to this day. When Reddit users on r-Cali-banging, the premier forum for keeping track of California's gang politics, was asked to describe Stockton, California, they weren't shy to brutally slam the city. Unfortunately, this will be the stomping ground for some of California's most talented, wild, and unforgiving rap groups. As the Valley Club Records YouTube channel puts it, after spending a weekend with the group, these guys were cut from an entirely different cloth. If Sparta had rappers, these guys would be them.
From spending time around those guys, one thing became abundantly clear. These guys were cut from an entirely different cloth. If Sparta had rappers, these guys would be them.
The Ebk Hot Boys, as they were officially named, the group EBK come from the southeast Stockton area, specifically 2100 Nightingale Avenue.
What's up, man? We in the southeast Nightingale. Finna take y'all through the hood one time, you feel me? Yeah, come on. Right now though, blood, we on 7th Street. We got like 4 blocks on this side. There's 2 sides, there's Deuce 1 and there's Deuce 4. That's on the other side though. Right now we on Deuce 1, I mean 2-1. Right here, 7th Street though. Here we gonna go to Brother Block. Juju, where you at, brother?
EBK backed up. Where you? Hey, rest in peace, Slow, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's a crazy. it's crazy, bro. So many young niggas losing their life, bro. And niggas who like, it's like, it's a lot of like rap, you know. Keep it lit, bro.
Yeah, brother. We on Bel Air now, man. Check this out, man. We on Bel Air now. Man, God.
This area is deep-rooted in crime, and after a simple Google search, the results pretty much speak for themselves. EBK members often have a signature shag haircut, which can be seen on the back of Ebk Jbo and young Slobby's heads, and they often repeat the terms Southeast, Nightingale, or 21.
Yeah, 9U. Alright, brother, 21. Southeast, free play.
But interestingly, EBK has a whole lot of members, many of whom don't even rap. So that we can cover the most notable members, firstly, you've got Ebk Jbo. Real name Jaimani Gorman, Jbo reps EBK to the fullest with his neck tattooed with Southeast EBK.
Shots got that in the house like he on quarantine.
So the minute you step in, people notice you?
Yeah, for sure. As soon as I come in, you know, I got Southeast EBK on my neck. And so as soon as I come in, yelling, oh, Jbo, oh, what's up with the blood? You feel me? I'm what's up with the blood? You feel me? I know niggas in there.
Currently, Ebk Jbo is one of the main rappers flying the flag for all of the West Coast, with recent bangers like Boogeyman getting tons of hype online. In the song, Jbo raps about wanting all the smoke and popping up on his ops like the Boogeyman, where Jbo seemingly admits to having a body and asks anyone who doesn't to calm down. He would collaborate with Southern and New York rappers like Lil Rai and BBG Stepper on the remix of Chris Brown's Gimme That. He currently has the most exposure for any rapper coming out of Stockton, but sadly, he's got a pattern of being constantly arrested and sent back to jail for violence and gun cases.
What'd you get locked up for that time around?
Another shooting, but it wasn't like
another shooting. I don't think we talked about a shooting yet.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the first one.
I went down for this time, but
what was what was that first shooting that you got locked up for?
I was 15. That's a closed case too. We was at school, got weird. Suckers trying to jump sis. She got on. We was at school though, feel me? So the principal see me, so he told on me. The principal told him.
Oh, the principal seen you get busy on it?
Yeah, the principal see me get busy though, but you know, really wasn't trying to hit nothing back then though. So they just chalked it as to just like
shooting into a dwelling,
discharging a firearm. That's what it pleaded to. In the juvenile hall, bro. That's like go to camp for that.
That's facts.
But I was
3-month program type.
But I was fighting hella though, so
you was getting refiled.
Exactly. I couldn't go to camp. You feel me? Kept catching extra days, so they just gave me like 720 days, and then end up doing like 2 years. Or like a year and some change.
So this before you dropping?
This is before this. Last time I just went to jail. This is when I just got out and dropped Step the Hardest. And
you was in jail right before that, yeah.
Hey, this one nigga who got talent. This young nigga got talent, bro, but he can't stay out of them people's hands. Like, you just can't stay out of jail, and it's a trip. It's like, you know it, but that's what come with it. I ain't gonna lie.
I was in juvenile hall.
Oh yeah, so you was in the hall. So you gaining some traction in school. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when you was in school, so what's that? 15?
Yep,
15. Then you go down.
A pattern apparently stemming all the way back from his adolescent years, where Jbo was always the youngest and arguably most wild person in his crew. For example, there was a time where apparently Jbo and his crew were pulled over for a regular traffic stop due to their front windows being too tinted. But it seems that the crew was stopped partway through a potential drill, as the police would find a number of automatic rifles and even some ghost guns. Guns with some or all of their parts made by 3D printing, produced privately, and completely untraceable. Jbo's arrest record can be found online, and it is serious, with numerous charges such as possessing firearms whilst on probation and having extended magazines, and even the ominous-sounding street terrorism. In Jbo's No Jumper interviews, he's fresh home from county jail, in both of them, which are just about a year apart.
Bro, I'm happy to be alive.
That's right. Nah, for real.
Be home, be alive, bro, for sure. There ain't no reason to walk around this month.
That's right.
Southeast.
Yeah, how long you been home for?
What's today?
The 9th?
The 9th.
30 days today.
Last time we interviewed you, it was under the influence of the fact that you had just got out from doing some time, facing a charge, and now here we are, same thing. You were just locked up for a while.
Yeah, like 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
What happened?
You know, a little misunderstanding. Got pulled over. They tried to say something about some guns, allegedly. I don't know, it's crazy.
So there weren't any guns, or there were?
That's what they said. I don't know nothing though.
And you're especially not supposed to be around that kind of thing because you're on a...
Yeah, nah. Ain't supposed to be around no guns, so they charged me gun.
Hey, they got hella like California, just period, right? it's hella weird ass laws that kind of like impede on your rights as a human. You feel me? You should be able to fucking have whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Some people ain't mentally stable, right? But that's how we gonna weed them out. Cause your goofy ass, you gonna do something dumb, and then you gonna get weed. But then again, if everybody is on the same playing field, right? Like Texas, places where like stand your ground states and shit like that, them people, right? It's less likely for some shit to happen. Cause a motherfucker know you more likely to, you know what I mean, get your head bust playing, right? So it just be like, I don't know, it's a lot of weird ass laws, and it's because people, right, that's what they done did, man. I ain't gonna go into it.
Couple gang enhancements, but I got bail.
I mean, you could get caught littering and there'd be a gang enhancement at this point, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
He even had to graduate high school from the juvenile hall.
You graduate?
Yeah, I graduated.
Really?
I graduated in juvenile hall.
You wore the cap and gown and all that?
Yep, I took a picture, but I didn't like have no graduation or nothing.
You didn't walk down and do the ceremony?
No, I was in jail. I was in jail.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I was in jail, but I did it though.
Jbo would constantly give details about his time spent inside jail, with him apparently dishing out countless fades.
So how was it? How was the
jail
this time around? Yeah,
regular couple fades here and there, you know.
Same old.
Yeah, a couple fades, but I was chilling this time. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't really had to fade a lot of because I already had faded a lot of last time I was in there.
And you earned your respect that time around?
Something like that. Feel me? It's the same every time. You know, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna run some fades, and then eventually you're gonna get to like a pod or somewhere where it's cool programming in there, you feel me? Probably catch a few fades, but nothing too serious though. It's regular, you chilling in there.
How many fades you run this time?
I ran like, I only ran like 4 this time, 4 or 5.
Okay, not too bad for 6 months.
Yeah, nah, not too bad. And I ran on those when I first had got in too, so.
And how does it start? Does people just start running their mouth, or?
I mean, it's like intake, you feel me? Everybody in the rooms and so, you know, the porter will come and tell you like who in there or something, or you would just get popped out and see it like, okay, we gonna get that in Southeast. You feel me? Be like, we gonna get that in the corner or get that in the cell, and then that be that. You feel me? They do their thing, you do your thing after that.
But always with the honesty, Jbo would even break times that he had lost jail fights.
The they gonna say, lose fights. It is what it is. I ain't get knocked out, drop, I ain't get black eye, none of that.
And do you win all these fights, or sometimes you don't get your way?
Hey, that's what, so this nigga, I can imagine, right? A lot of he just likable though. He got a likable energy, right? And he kind of like, he as transparent as he can be. Like some of these niggas, right? Like some of these artists, you want to be an artist, but you don't know that you feel me? It's really not just about your music. Motherfuckers want, like how he answering the questions about the phase and certain things he can answer questions about. It's like he bringing his supporters into his world a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Although it is a trip, right? Just imagine the guards, right? Seeing these motherfuckers basically, you feel me, in here fighting and having, like, basically, you in jail already. You already got some shit looming over your head. You trying to get out, whatever have you. And you and this motherfucker trying to catch a new charge. You feel me? Over some other discrepancies. Motherfucker, like, this nigga don't got his priorities in order. You know what I'm saying? As far, not Jbo in particular, I'm just saying, as far as everybody in that motherfucker, you know, the life goes on, of course, I'm gonna keep it lit.
I mean, you feel me? You gonna lose some, you gonna win some in the county. You know, I ain't gonna act like I just whoop every, but I don't lose a lot, Southeast. But you feel me? I don't win every fight though, nah. You feel me? But
that's real. Most sit on camera and say they 80-0.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna sit on camera and act like I'm 80-0. You feel me? I made my match a couple times. I made my match a couple times though, but don't know though. I'm gonna hit it with something he gonna remember.
Like this time in the county jail, where he fought a giant brolic gangster called Seawalk from a rival hood 44G from the townhome neighborhood. Jbo explained that he was on a recent case and released from the hole after hitting a police officer. And when he came back to the halls, he saw the massive Seawalk, and when they approached each other, Seawalk said, F Southeast, which caused the two to organize a fade, or fight. And this actually led to them fighting on 3 separate occasions.
Maybe I get there, they put me in red. You feel me? That's high risk because I caught the little case for hitting the police, so they had to put me in red. So I had to stay in the hole for like 5 months. So I got out the hole, boom. My first week, intake 1 on my mama. I get in there. I'm in there with Ray Cash on my mama. That's my celly. I get in there, a big ass walk in there. I see I see the in the window. I'm like, oh, he big. He walk in. I'm like, bro, I know that's the town. Brother, like, yeah, that's woo woo wop. That's C-Walk. I'm like, all right, it's hood. Boom. We come out. Bro ain't say nothing to me. I ain't say nothing to him either. You feel me? The quacky there in hell, he on my mama. He ain't say nothing to me either.
He tried instant hit in his DM. He tried instant hit me in my DM.
Look, long story boring though. Bruh staring at me. I'm staring at him. Whatever the case may be. I push up on him, like, what's up? He like, yeah, I'm C-Walk, cuz townhomes. I'm like, Jbo, Southeast, nigga, EBK. Nigga, like, the Southeast. Look, I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, Southeast. I'm like, he turned on the hood. I'm like, yep, it's good. I need that. We get to the yard.
Man,
mind you, I didn't even know blood was that big. I'm so in the mode, like, you feel me?
Cap, no cap.
On the hood.
All facts. Hey, all facts. I'm not joking vouch for it.
Look, hold on. Look, I'm not even knowing the hella big. So we get to the yard or whatever the case may be, bro. We finna get down. Then he like, bro, it's hot right now, so we gonna fade in the morning, bro. Or unless you wanna go to the hoe. I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to go to the hoe. We gonna fade in the morning. Whatever the case may be, we come out the next day. He pushed up on everybody. I ain't gonna lie to turn. He pushed up on me like, bro. He shake my hand. He like, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? All the show me where you from. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like, bro, I'm on some soft. Like, I'm not trying to fade him. So I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When the Mexicans done doing it on the yard, we gotta go get that out the way. I ain't gonna lie. He like, cuz we can get that out. He like, cuz we can get that out the way right now. I'm like, it's good. So we get on the yard. I ain't gonna lie, he with me. Whatever the case may be. Blood ain't drive me, knock me out, none of that. Set. I ain't feel slug. He with me though, on blood. He with me. Long story short, he shake my hand like, yep, on my mama, I respect you. We go to the room. He come to my door like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, cuz all your homies turned it down, but you turn. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna speak on the homies. They not here, but I can only speak for myself. He like, yep, that's cool. He like, but you scratch my eye, cuz you want to go again, and I keep it a band. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. We can program. He like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I need that. I'm like, it's good. I ain't turning shit down. So we get out there tomorrow, smoking, and bro waiting for me. He like, you feel me? Like,
hey man, you can't tell me that shit don't sound like some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That sound like some straight bullshit. But niggas been hearing about townhome niggas like it's a trip, right? That Jbo on them side is getting the light, you know, the recognition is some light being shined, even if it's for some negative shit. Not necessarily all of it though, is because them niggas is being recognized for their talent and you feel me on top of some other shit. But yeah, man, these niggas talking about hella just crazy shit, man.
Like, what you want to smoke first? And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like blood trying to make it seem like I'm trying to postpone it or whatever. So I'm like, okay, we can get that out the way. He with me again, I ain't gonna lie. Blood with me again. Then after that, he like, let's go again. Saying quacky, this, DGK, did this, that, that. We got down again. He with me again. He with me again. After that program, called the fade though.
In another interview, Jbo is asked what was the first thing you did since coming home, to which Jbo replies, I think I bent a block or two.
What was the first thing you did when you got out?
I think I bent a block or two.
Now this guy's got no fear about moving or talking hot or getting into trouble in the streets. Clearly Jbo is a certified menace, but when looking into his early years, there may be a deeper explanation for his behaviour. Jbo was born and raised in southeast Stockton, right in 2100 Nightingale.
So you were born in Stockton?
Yeah, born and raised, for sure.
What was your upbringing like?
Coming up in Stockton, it was cool. Like I said, it was Stockton boring, you feel me? It don't be a lot of going on. It's a lot of violence, but as far as the upbringing, we was cool, you know.
Nightingale's environment clearly had a massive impact on Jbo, who later released songs such as I Am Nightingale, where Jbo raps about being posted on the J because Nightingale Street is shaped like the letter J and rolling up his dead ops there. He even references how he popped an op before he ever made a song and calls Nightingale the home of the killers. Now Jbo originally lived with both of his parents. His mother worked at the juvenile hall, whilst his father Rari was a prominent figure in the neighborhood and was even a poppin' rapper from the area.
But as far as the upbringing, we was cool. You know, my mom used to work at the juvenile hall.
Okay.
You had both parents?
Yeah, for a minute. You know, my pops passed away. Rest in peace, Rory. I mean, that's why I said.
When you were what age?
I was 11, probably like 10, turning 11.
So y'all had a good relationship before?
Yeah,
then,
we was tight for sure.
Right.
Like, that was like my best friend for sure.
Damn.
Keep it lit in every song.
Man,
sure.
Rest in peace.
How'd he pass?
Sure.
He got shot. My mom, he got popped like 2015.
But unlike many others from the blood-dominated Nightingale, Rari himself was a Crip.
Was y'all already bloods before?
Yeah.
And then you threw it on.
Everybody was bloods. It was just a couple Crips. My pop's a Crip though.
But sadly in 2015, Rari would tragically lose his life to gunfire whilst allegedly protecting his son Jbo, marking the first homicide in 2015 within Stockton. Jbo was just 10 years old at the time and had been robbed by 2 teenagers in the local area. He reported back to his father, who went to confront the boys over the robbery. They then drew their guns, shooting Rari and killing him. At such a young age, Jbo was made to witness the volatile and treacherous streets of Stockton, with his father being murdered by teenagers just over protecting his son. Rari was a positive role model in the neighborhood and has even released music about the social issues within the community, commemorating a friend who was unjustly killed by the police.
They broke his arm, then they shot him 7 times from the neck to the torso, and it was not right.
Heartbreakingly,
what I was tripping off, right, is how both of them niggas got, like, bro, he said he ran the 3-phase with. They both got heart, got warrior spirit, and it'd be better on the same team, right? After a nigga ran him 4 times though, right? Nigga like, I'ma bend.
Just 2 days before his murder, Rari had received a letter confirming he had completed his 7-year parole. He was on a path to change his and his family's life, and had he still been around, Jbo might have had a completely different life, perhaps staying on a straighter path. But within just 2 years after his father's murder, Jbo would turn to the streets and begin participating in criminal activity.
When I got in the field, it was hectic for sure. For my little like 7 years being like thugging, hectic.
And sadly, a pattern of violence seems to chase this family generation through generation, as Rari himself would suffer the loss of his father, but not to murder, this time to the justice system, as Rari's father was actually convicted after beating a woman to death with a baseball bat. Now, I'm not condoning that by any means, but what I am saying is that growing up with that going on in your life is going to change everything. Now, Jbo has dedicated music to his own late father, releasing songs like Lil Rari when he was just 15, where Jbo visits his father's grave, and more recently Rari Forever on his latest project Sinner's Prayer, as well as an album with the same name in 2022.
When Pops passed, my mindset wasn't just like, oh, my Pop's gone, okay, I'm in the field. It just transitioned into that, like, I can't even tell you how it happened, bro, because it's just like I'm thugged out now, it's regular now. But I honestly don't know. I can't tell you, bro. It's just one day, I just remember, like right now, I just remember one day it was like innocent kid, and then next day, thugged out.
Following his father's death, Jbo would begin getting booked at juvenile hall the very next year in 2016, making him just around age 12 or 13 at the time.
Nah, when about time I hopped in the field, you know me, because I'm not no fake.
Hey, and that's crazy, right? Because that's really how it be. Like, I remember like certain shit happening, like, right, to like just certain different shit would happen, right, and it'll make you, it's like you getting more and more like, you know, like just prepared for what you think is your reality, right? Because you can only see so far. Being a young nigga, you only got like you know, it's just a trip. Like you growing up in the hood, right? You see a nigga knock a nigga down or something, you automatically put that in your head to where you like, that's what is a strong possibility, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'm not gonna act like I just been in the field
right whole life.
Yeah, bro. About time I hopped in the field, my mom had already retired because my pops. I'm 19 right now, so my pops died 2015. I wasn't in the field yet, bro. So like, I started going to juvenile hall probably like 2016.
Right.
You feel me? Then mom's was already gone. So, but all the staff knew my mom though. You feel me? So,
really?
So you had juice?
Yeah, I had juice a little bit, but they didn't know, like, just because y'all know my mama know me, y'all know me.
Right.
So they expected a lot more from me because they knew
Facts.
my mom. But I'm in there acting out, and they calling my mom like, man, what's up with your son? He beating people up, taking people food, and I'm
thugging.
Like, yeah, I'm not knowing though that's kind of disrespectful to moms because she got a name.
Right, because she know them,
yeah,
your
I'm
son
young
in
though,
here
so
acting
I'm just
up.
like, mama, this is what I'm doing, I'm thugging.
And Jbo would explain he originally was stealing cars because he found it cool. He would find any car and drive it straight to cool to flex on the girls there. But eventually, this led to him getting caught up in a case.
What kind of were you getting into that had you going to juvenile hall that young?
I was like, when I first like hopped in the field, I was into stealing cars. I ain't gonna lie.
You what is it, bipping?
Nah, I wasn't bipping. Like
you were a
we
Kia
bipped,
boy?
we bipped, we got to that. But like when I first started, like I was really into taking cars. Like that just was hella cool to me. I don't know why. Like I'd be walking, like my first case I caught, the case closed, I already got the time for it. I just seen.
This nigga said he was in stealing cars. Almighty suspect gonna say, what is it, bipping? Bipping ain't got shit to do with stealing no damn car, man. You know.
The car I hopped in at, mama.
You just did your Dougie.
got up out of there and went to school.
In the next few years, Jbo would begin hanging with other EBK members, eventually seeing the collective being formed around 2016.
But as I started like getting in the field, started like EBK, made EBK like 2016, 15 or something like that. I hopped in the field like 2016, so it's like that's when I started going for sure. Feel me, on some cousin banging EBK.
EBK, or Everybody Killer, usually means that a certain set will beef every gang in their area, even if they're the same faction. For example, if you're a blood set that beefs other bloods, as well as the Rollin' 60 Crips, as well as the Hoovers in LA, we could call you EBK Everybody Killer. Or in Chicago, some sets might be GD and have beef with other BDs and GDs, considering themselves to be Everybody Killers. Now, this definition has caused a lot of confusion online, but Jbo cleared this up with Adam22, explaining that EBK is the actual.
Now, this is how you know the street's over, too, because when he gets to getting down here and breaking it down the way he break it down, this the same way niggas go in there and get an infidel. Yeah, they going out. So that's why niggas say the streets is dead, because they done gave up all the information. Man, and it's constantly a new motherfucking infidel every day, right? But they've been infidel for years. So that means the intel gets fucking, you know what I mean, updated every time a nigga infidel. And if a nigga infidel every day, they on top of it, you know? And niggas don't want to realize that, you know, it's still, you know, it's crazy, bro. They got this shit so up. And not to mention, it's cameras and license plate readers and all type of shit going on. They didn't caught hella niggas in Frisco just like over these last couple weeks. They put them in like the last 2 weeks or something. They didn't caught like 80 people, man. They didn't caught so many niggas doing all type of shit. You feel me? And, you know.
Actual name of their set.
You're not from the hood.
Yeah, because I'm yeah.
But you tell me if I'm wrong, but in some cities, if you're saying I'm EBK, that just means you beef with everybody.
Right,
Yeah,
now they made it a clique,
we really was on some like, we're really EBK, like this, we really pushing this.
And originally everyone was a member of the Bloods, but they ultimately changed to rep EBK.
Was y'all already Bloods before?
Yeah.
And then you threw it on.
Everybody was Bloods. It was just a couple Crips.
Now, Jbo allegedly had multiple cases stemming from his early years involving burglary, firearms, and even an attempted murder. However, due to his age and being a juvenile, there's no trace of this online. After being released from his first lengthy sentence, Jbo created his first song with other EBK members titled Don Dada. He was just 15 at the time, but he was showing a lot of promise for a serious rap career. The song featured Jbo rapping about loving gunpowder and being from Night in Afghanistan, and he would also feature on the first EBK group song, the Sweet Lady remix, which was a remix to a classic track by LA legend 03 Greedo. And on the song, Jbo mentioned getting active after some suckers killed his father. And the next notable member from EBK, who arguably had the most promise in music from the gang, is Young Slobby. Although he doesn't have EBK in his artist name, it's hard to say Slobby is not part of the collective, with some disputing it online, claiming that he's from another set. But Slobby is a long-time member of the musical group EBK and even appeared on one of their first group songs, the EBK Anthem, where Slobby raps about putting ops in body bags and running the south of Stockton. Coming from the exact same neighborhood as Jbo, Nightingale, Slobby is proud of his block, as seen from the large southeast tattoo that runs across his back. Slobby explained that the neighborhood always had a reputation that inspired the youngsters in the streets, that they made it something that the masses was aware of. Slobby then mentions how everybody who knows Nightingale can holler at him. When asked his age in an interview, Slobby took his chance to shout out his block, channeling his inner Chief Keef, claiming that he's 2100. Again, similar to Jbo, Slobby grew up around music being in his family. His uncle was a local musician in San Diego, with his father also being a rapper, but both of them never really took off, with Slobby's father also being heavily involved in the streets, causing him to be raised by women. Slobby claims his father only taught him street, limiting the options for a young Slobby. But eventually, he found a way to display his creativity. Young Slobby had been releasing music since 2018, with his first single, Hunted Proof. However,
See? Left a nigga with little options from a young motherfucking age, you know. We gonna have to make this motherfucker part 2. This part 1. Shout out Trap Little Rose, nigga. We gonna I'm gonna continue this motherfucker. Yeah, nigga, right after this. Y'all niggas feel me? Stay tuned.